Look, guys, I have a question. Is Israel Adesanya boring? I think when people are talking about this, it's a very hot topic when you're looking at his last performance, and a lot of people, memeing him saying he's full of decision. Here's the thing. A lot of people are looking at this wrong. A lot of people are confusing, is Israel Adesanya good and is he boring? Those are two separate things. So let's break down the good. Of course, Israel Adesanya is good. The guy is a world-class kickboxer. He is top tier. He has dominated the middleweight division thus far. I mean, when is the last time we saw someone even close to him? I guess Robert Whittaker in his last fight. But even then, that wasn't really that close. I mean, 2 rounds. I know some people say, yes, Rob won, but I really can't see a way that you give more than 2 rounds to Rob. The guy has proven to me that he is leagues above a lot of the other contenders. Jared Cannonier didn't even look like he belonged in there with Israel. And it brings me to this. I really wish I remember who said this, but dominance is boring. When you look a lot of the greatest of all time, let's take George St. Pierre. I love George, one of my favorite fighters, but if you're going to sit down and watch all of his championship fights, there's going to be a few hard watches in there because he was just so dominant. People like to see finishes and good fight. When you have someone as dominant as Israel Adesanya or George St. Pierre, you're not going to get a good fight. You're going to get just dominance, the same thing over, because that's just what they're good at and nobody could stop them. Long story short, yes, Israel Adesanya is good. We got that and cleared. Does that make his fights interesting? No, not my opinion. When you look at dominant champions or dominant fights, they get boring. Let's look at the Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman fight, right? That happened in August. Up until the finish and up until the first round, when the first round was competitive, the dominant part was boring. People don't like dominance, and I agree. I don't like dominance either. When you're looking at good fights, you're looking at the Justin Gaethje Michael Chandler fights that are back and forth, just crazy. Israel Adesanya is a guy that's super interesting because he reminds me a lot of Stephen Thompson, but tall. And I think if Stephen Thompson had the height advantage that Adesanya has in his weight class, he would be kind of like Adesanya. But Adesanya is just so tall and uses his range so well that it just works. Adesanya is a guy that will pick you apart on the outside if you let him. If you're going to sit on the outside, he isn't going to go for a finish. That's just what he is, and he's not going to risk it. He's not a risk taker. Say what you will, you might not like that style. You might like it. You might find it boring. I think most people would find that style boring, just picking you off on the outside. But Israel, when he has people coming forward, that's when he gets those finishes. And it's because for a guy that's skinny, a guy that you might not expect, he has a lot of power. I mean, the guy, and that's why I think a lot of people hold off on him. He has a lot of power. He has great weapons. He's very smart. He's a great fighter in the way that he also, like I said, most of all, he has a lot of power. You've seen him now knock out Robert Whittaker, right, and Paulo Costa, who both survived absolute wars with Yoel Romero. Both of them didn't even get finished. Israel is so precise and powerful. And that's why I thought in the last fight with Jared Cannonier, I actually thought that Israel was going to be able to knock him out. I expected Jared to be pushing the action, but Jared didn't push the action. And Israel stayed on the outside. Now, what makes this weekend interesting? Israel, like I said, I compared Stephen Wonderboy Thompson to this because of this weekend. Israel and Alex, they have the same height, probably around the same reach. Is Israel Adesanya going to be able to pick apart Alex? So my conclusion to all this is Israel Adesanya is dominant and is great, and it might go down as one of the best middleweights of all time. But I do agree, his fights are boring, and that doesn't take anything away from him as a fighter. And I think he's a great fighter, and I think, I like his style. As long as he's going to fight like this, he's going to be known as a boring fighter. And I don't mean to take away anything from him because of that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and let me know what you guys think about this whole discussion. I just wanted to do more of these with just a question that I have or a question that MMA media is just talking about. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.